been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Busy day today with what's happening. Yeti, good to see you, my friend. Everything's going on at Nottingham Forest. My word.
It is, mate.
What's happening? What's going down?
Mate, a lot of these have been in the wings for a while, to be honest. I mean, a top target was that Sangari, so I'm really glad we've sorted that. I don't think it's fully sorted yet, but it should be sorted by 11 o'clock. I think actually what he's doing is I think he's going to try and he might try and do a back four with two holding midfielders, Sangari and Dominguez. I've seen both of them and I'm highly impressed with both of them, to be honest. Really good at the press, really good tacklers. You know what I mean? And they don't mess around either. They don't mess around. And then probably Alanga, Morgan Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi, and Awonyi as the forward. I mean, that ain't a bad forward line, is it? Really?
Not really. No, fair play. I think you'd have to say really that your transfer window is looking ultra positive.
Yeah,
I can't say the same at Arsenal because once again. We've let players go on loan. We've sold Holding. Thank God. He's gone. Palace. Thank you, Palace. We still haven't done what we needed to do. And we've been crying out for this for now 3 windows. We haven't got that top level striker.
Nope.
But people say, you know, oh, well, we've got Jesus. Great. He's not 20 goals a year. He wasn't at Man City and he's not going to be at Arsenal. No. Eddie Nketiah is not a 20-goal. You could play him every game and he ain't going to get you 20 flaming goals, right?
No, 100%.
And let's be honest, Yeti, we're now in the Champions League, right? Yeah? And we've got a pretty decent group there. I mean, unlike Newcastle, who've got the group of death, in my book, you know, I mean, Man City, I think, have got a pretty easy group, to be fair, and we've got to go compete. Now, if this clown of a manager, right, doesn't get us out of that group, then I'm sorry, he has to be sacked. There is no question about that. Absolutely no. Because he's had the opportunity. I mean, you said to me last night on your stream, do you see Arsenal buying anybody else? And I said to you, no.
Yeah.
And I don't think we will. And that is going to be a major problem. But
I think you've got to, mate, to be honest. I mean, like we just said in the discussion behind the scenes. I mean, the thing is, Holding and Tavares are not what you guys want, but you're getting rid of players which instantly are your depth. So you're shutting your depth down, even though they're not very good players. It is depth, you know, to have them, and you're not replacing them or getting anybody else in their place. So it makes no sense to me, to be quite honest with you. Honestly,
I totally agree. With what you're saying. We were weak before. We're even weaker now. I agree. Holding is not good, but he was a player that could jump in and fill a hole.
Yeah.
Sambi Lokonga is not great, but he's a third choice backup in my book, right? Tavares is not great, but out of the three, I say he's the one who's the best.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
we're
good
now,
for us.
well, yeah, fair play, you know. But let's have a little chat about your lot, because you've gone mental. Yeah. All I've seen all day, Nottingham Forest are buying this guy, Nottingham Forest are buying this guy, Nottingham Forest are buying this guy, and I'm like, really?
I know, it's been mad.
Yeah,
Been absolutely mental. But you know, I mean, the thing is, mate. I mean, if you watch the Man United game, I mean, we couldn't control the midfield or anything. We just had to sit back and stuff like that. And whether he's going to continue to do that, I don't know. But the players that we bought, Murillo, looking at him, he looks really good. Good left foot on him. Read a game, read a player, read what a player's going to do next, and there's quite a lot of interceptions. So he looks class. There's one or two sort of really good creative passes as well. So he looks decent. I mean, I know it's only on YouTube videos, but he did play in the games and he did do them things. So I mean, he is capable of doing them things. The rest, I mean, as far as I know, there's possibly Batshuayi from Fenerbahce. I think it's Fenerbahce. And also Divock Origi on a season-long loan from AC Milan. I think that's it. Well, I mean, we don't want any more, but you know, it's if you need them, you need them. And the fact of the matter is one thing we've got is depth. You know what I mean? We've got depth in every single position. I'm hoping that he's looking at a complete different formation, a 4-2-3-1 or something. You know, and really starting to move on.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, because that is the one thing. If you're a serious contender, as I said to you backstage, you know, we're in the Champions League now. We have, I think, Arsenal have got a favourable group, right? But we know we're going to get injuries. We've already suffered it.
Yeah.
Suffering Jurriën Timber. He's gone for the season. I think he would have been absolute class for us. And yet, here we are, loaning out players, sold one, yeah, and we're not, as Luke says here, why do you think we don't target a striker? Does it not suit Arteta's system? Well, Luke, that's a great question, mate, because I honestly think Arteta is so arrogant, or is in so much denial.
Stubborn,
yeah, absolutely, that he believes what he's doing will come to fruition. I just don't see it, man.
No,
I don't see it. I mean, if you're going into seriously challenge for the big titles, and I'm talking Champions League, I'm talking Premier League, you've got to have a decent striker.
100%.
Have one, and when we come in, if we qualify out of our group, Champions League, we get into the next round. Who the hell is going to be good enough for us to be scoring against the big boys? And we will be up against the big boys. Now, I've been saying, go and get Ivan Toney. Apparently, we can't do that because we're not allowed to do that deal because he's banned. I don't know the ins and outs of the actual facts, the law of it. But come January, right? The January transfer window, I mean, right?
Yeah.
His price is going to inflate. Okay. And we're going to be up against Man United, possibly Chelsea, Tottenham for his services. So it's going to make it even harder for us to get that sort of striker that's going to get you 20 odd goals.
Yeah.
And play with great assists for the rest of the team. We are relying at this point in time on Gabriel Jesus, who we know can be injury prone, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Nketiah, well, okay. Martinelli, who I think is off form right now as we talk. Saka, I don't think has been great so far this season.
No.
So,
Well, you might not have him, mate, by the end of this window. Just imagine if this Saudi club comes in, puts 200 million for Salah, Liverpool signed Salah, and then hit that buyout clause on Saka to replace him. That'd really make things interesting.
This is the scary point. You see, this is what worries me, because if this Saudi club, whatever their name is, I've forgotten them now, come in and they say to Liverpool, right, 210 million, let's get it done. I can't see Liverpool not turning that down.
No.
And that would be
if Salah wants to go, then they ain't got much choice anyway.
What are they offering? 1.5 million a week. Who the hell in the right? Who's going to turn that down?
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy money.
Well, he's winding down eventually, another 3, maybe 4 years, right? Are you going to turn that down, Yeti? Would you?
No, not in a million years.
Exactly. You're going to say, thanks very much, I'm out of here. And
Definitely.
that leads you on to what you've just made, that great statement, in the fact that it'd be interesting. It's going to go one or two ways in my book. Liverpool, Klopp likes Saka, right?
Yeah.
If they come knocking at the door to make him the top boy at Liverpool, that's going to turn his head.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
And
120 million, isn't it, that buyout clause?
Yeah.
Crazy, that is.
So, I mean, as Macy says, PSV Eindhoven will smash Arsenal. Let's get it right. We haven't done well against PSV. But getting back to what we're saying is, if this does happen in the next few hours, 4 hours or so, whatever it is, this is going to be a massive, massive blow for Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I
personally, Odegaard got the Arsenal Player of the Season award last year. I'm not going to argue with that, but I think Saka, personally, my view, personal. Macy says, I hate Eddie Nketiah. I just think,
Arteta's just got this in his head that he's going to turn him into this superb, amazing striker, and it just ain't going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No. And mate, you're summing it up, Macy. Arteta is an arrogant bastard. He thinks. I watched a clip that I think it was Connor put in the Instagram chat groups today.
Yeah.
And he's asked a question by a journalist and says about going back to the back four that worked last season. He's talking about getting up at 6 a.m. in the winter and defrosting his car window. What the fuck are you talking about? What is that about?
Then you walk the dog first.
Wow. And then he takes the kids to school. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
I know. What is that?
Man. And I think that's bullshit, because I'm sure the car he's got with the money he earns, it's probably got an automatic defrost the windscreen.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. But why are you talking that in a press conference?
It's ridiculous. It's like he's taking the mick.
He is taking the piss. As Wolfgang says, you can't wait. You can't until Jan. I think what you're saying is we can't buy
Tony
till January, which is Mama Flossie told me that yesterday. Montana, good to see you, mate. Big up, Jez, mate. Fair enough. If we can't, then we've got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because as Daniel says, we should re-sign Granit Xhaka. Well, maybe we did make a mistake. Maybe we did. I mean, never my favourite player, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I can live with what you're saying, that is for sure. But the fact remains that we are Arsenal are very vulnerable at this point in time. We haven't done it. We started off well, in the transfer window, and
Yeah.
then we went rapidly down the toilet when we bought Laia Havertz.
Mm.
We sold Florian Balogun. We never gave him a chance.
No, he didn't fit, did he? He didn't do as he's told, so he never got a chance.
And that again says to me, Yeti, that Arteta is an arrogant prick because if you don't get on with him, then you're out the door.
Yeah, definitely.
That to me, I'm sorry, strikes or smells of crap management.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
He's different. You're different to me. I'm different to you. I'm different to Macy in the chat. I'm different to Wolfgang. All personalities that if you're a top level football manager, right?
Yeah.
You can manage them.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to pull a player aside and say, right, listen up, fella. You're talking bollocks. I don't like what you're doing. If you don't step up, I'm dropping you to the bench.
Mm.
Not even in the squad.
Yeah.
Now, I think the way he deals with players is poor. He did it with Aubameyang. He's done it with Pepe. When Pepe came back, he wasn't even training at London Colney.
No.
He was training at the local bloody
Tesco's.
Yeah.
In the car park.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous.
No,
but
makes no sense at all. If he was a good manager, then I could understand him doing things like that. An Alex Ferguson or a Pep or a Clough. I could understand his attitude with the players, but he ain't. So he shouldn't be. He don't need to be doing stuff like that. He just thinks he's better than he is. He really does.
Oh, absolutely, I totally agree with you. Wolfgang says, Jez, who would you sign right now? One player, any position. If a striker, who? Not Tony. On the fact no one can buy him, I'd go for Mbappe. Show your intent, Arsenal. Show your intent.
Definitely. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah, go for one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah.
And so actually, we're Arsenal Football Club, and we actually mean business. But they won't, because Arsenal would never spend that sort of money.
No.
But that is the sort of player we need.
Yeah, definitely.
We haven't got it. Hendon Gunnar says Liverpool should cash in on Salah now. He's 32 years old next season. Well, that's what I was saying. He's probably got 3 years.
100%.
3 years best. I'm just going to bring in Hot Fuzz in a minute. And
I'll tell you what I'd do if I was Liverpool, mate. I would just think of a point. Say to the Saudi team, 200 million, or you're not having him. Get it sorted, because we've only got so many hours to get it done. But the thing is, the Saudi window stays open after ours closes, so it's going to get really interesting. They might even come in for Saka.
Well, absolutely. An odd thing. We talked about it last night, didn't we? I know that it's because they're not part of UEFA, but they are part of FIFA. Yeah. I don't get. Apparently their window is only open for another 7 days. It's not until the 20th of September.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So they've still got
7 days, though. 7 days.
A long time in football.
Yeah.
A lot of things can happen. Anyway, Hot Fuzz, good to see you, my friend.
You too.
We're currently talking about transfer business.
Yeah.
Today you've been doing some business. Are you happy with it? What do you think?
Well, it's again sort of skeptical about the Region loan deal. He's like the emergency left back cover. I thought that there's potentially other better left backs to get, but I can't really complain too much. And the Sofian Amrabat deal is so long overdue. It's
Yeah,
like
it is, mate.
we know that we could have signed him on this
Mm.
deal ages ago. Man's been waiting since June, and it's taken us to deadline day to do
Mm.
quite possibly one of the easiest deals just the whole summer to do. So it's just typical for Man United to make a relatively easy job for 99% of all clubs in
Yeah.
incredibly tall order and a difficult task. So, I'm just relieved more than anything to see that we've got a key signing in and that we're not going to be so completely down the river with
Mm.
lacking of a key asset in the team. So, I'm I'm okay with it, right? I'm okay
Mm.
with deadline day, but everything else with the transfer window has been beyond unacceptable.
Well, I totally agree with you there. Sorry, I just want to come back to this question that I've starred. Rycav new. Hi, Jez. Hope you're good. You're looking forward to Sunday. I think we might lose. I can see it. Look,
Possible.
we are going to come on to this in a bit. I just want to do the transfer stuff, and then we're going to talk about the Man United game.
Yeah.
And I have reservations about it, but we will get into that. The thing is, Hot Fuzz, is that why is it now, in your opinion, that Man United and Arsenal, who used to attract the best of the best, right? We don't. I mean, you've got money, bags of money at Man United. Arsenal have got bags of money.
Yeah.
We just don't seem to get these deals or get the players that we need. I mean, it's always been said, and I was talking about this at the end of last season, right, when we dropped into second spot. If we get Champions League, supposedly we attract world-class players. Well, we haven't attracted one. Not one have we bought or attracted. And I say this, and I mean it all in all seriousness, I still maintain to get the best of the best, you've got to have a top level rated manager. When you had Alex Ferguson, right, and Arsenal had Arsene Wenger, yeah, they were respected all around the globe for their ability as managers.
Yeah.
I can't say that about Mikel Arteta. He's a clown. And I'm sorry, I don't really rate Ten Hag that highly. So, what's your view?
Yeah, I definitely can see that there's a lot of transfer decisions can be influenced by the identity of the manager. If it's someone that commands respect by all players around the globe, if they are a household name, you get a lot of transfers that are quite based around the fact that there's a manager that this person looks up to. They would like to go play for that manager. The club is also its own separate entity. So if you can match the both of those together, then it's you can say it's a match made in heaven for the sake of bringing players in towards the higher end of football. But the problem is that we've got boards like the middlemen. So the club, fantastic. A manager, like you can have reserved judgments on a manager. A manager might not be like world class, might not be well respected by people all around the world. But I find that it's the middlemen that make the business negotiations so unbelievably poor. And it's we've seen it with United where people have actually spoken about this before, that Manchester United's negotiations teams, they have zero respect for those people. So doing deals with players that would actually be quite good signings for our clubs, it's like there's these people going to boardrooms. It's like, who are we sending in there to get deals done? Because we got, I don't think the scouting network itself is actually that much of an issue. It's everyone else that actually does the deals and gets them across the line.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've sat here, or us United fans have sat here and seen Ed Woodward doesn't rate this player. Oh, Richard Arnold or someone else doesn't like that player. people at the hierarchy of the club don't rate this player. It's like, but you don't know football. There's a person with a football brain that's the manager. Why don't you go ask him? Why are we sat here saying, oh, well, that person doesn't rate him, that person doesn't rate that? I mean, Christ almighty, you're bankers. You're not meant to know how good a player actually is for your club. When the manager wants a player, you say, well, you know what you want best. I'm here to do or max out as much as I can do for what you tell me to do. Now, a manager, it's like with Mikel Arteta. If he gets all the players he wants, everything that comes afterwards, it's all down to him. So you know when exactly to blame Arteta, right? You say, yeah, those are your players. If you're failing with them, you're the problem. It's like with Ten Hag. If he's got all of his players, it's now your turn when the season gets underway. Prove to us that these players were worth the investment and that you know what you're doing as a manager, and get the best out of these players. But got boards that they make life that much more unbearable.
Totally agree, man. I totally agree. Duna ER says Jesuits fans lowering the standards. I agree with that comment, absolutely. And I will also say that certain fans that are absolutely ruining the fan base, certainly Arsenal. And I'd say to a point, I don't know about Nottingham Forest Yeti, but certainly is at Man United.
Neither do I.
So, and I'm just going to Wolf fan, man. I don't know if you're on Instagram. Find me. It's collins.jez on Instagram. Yeah, and I'll add you to the group chats. And yeah, if you want to come on, man, anytime, yeah, you're more than welcome. I haven't got a problem with that. I'm just going to say this. I mean, we do have. I mean, social media is great. It's brilliant. Yeah, we're on it now. We're having a laugh, and we did last night on the Yetis channel, and we get to meet great people. I mean, I've met, well, not met, but I've got to know Yeti. I've got to know you, Hot Fuzz, and people I'd never met in my life. Yeah, and it does give a little bit of a community in the group chat. You know, we have a great time in Yeti's one, in the one I set up, and you don't get any idiots talking absolute crap. It's all absolute quality talk. But the thing is, the problem is now that we've got Doubt. Doubt, how are we doing, man?
Good, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Hey,
Good
guys.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Quick little chat about social media affecting the fan base.
For sure. I've been watching.
Good stream earlier, mate, by the way. I watched it.
Thank you.
And I think it's a major Yeti. I'm gonna come to you on this one, mate. It is a major problem, isn't it? This social media bullshit by some channels that unfortunately a lot of people, especially those that are on Twitter as I call it, just want to follow the narrative. And they, you know, I've said this before. There's a lot of young fans, okay, don't want to put their head above the parapet and basically say, oh, no, you can't say that, because they don't want to be not part of the family, part of the group, whatever. So they'll just go along with it, whether they agree with it, but also that a lot of young people at the age of 12, 13, 14, they haven't yet developed their own way of communicating. So they just want to say, yeah, whatever he says is right. Yeah. Like, I'll give him a click. What do you think, mate?
Well, basically, I think there's a bunch of pricks on there, to be fair. But I said ages ago, mate. I said it before it even came through that the worst thing you can do is give idiots a platform to actually be idiots, and that's exactly what it's done. And you're getting people who wouldn't say boo to a goose, wouldn't say anything to somebody's face. That are just they're giving it this, that, and the other, giving it large and all this, that, and the other. If you can't pay the bill, then don't spend the money. Do you know what I mean? It just annoys me a lot. I mean, I get into a few sort of like arguments, believe it or not. I actually do get into them. With just idiot Forest fans, to be honest, who just slate certain players just because they don't like the player. It's got nothing to do with what he brings to the team. They're just slating, and you're always going to get, wherever you've got humans, you've got twats. It's always going to be the same, So now you've got social media, everybody's sharing this, and the problem for me is this: you can come up with whatever you want, and you can say whatever you want. The problem is the idiots that send it viral and like it and all that kind of stuff. Because if you come up with an idea and nobody takes any notice of you, you disappear back under your rock somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. So it's the people that actually follow it and keep moving it all on that are the issue for me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what I find interesting, and it does intrigue me, and you just hit the nail right on the head, and I'm going to come to Dow in a minute, is that there's a lot of people that will sit there behind a keyboard, and they're probably about 14, 13, whatever. Pretty nice people, probably really nice people. But because you don't agree with what they believe, because they're following a certain group or a certain channel, then they'll come out of all kinds of bullshit. I've had loads of it. Oh, don't ever come to the Emirates. I'm going to keep your head in, and this, and the other, and all that. Oh, right, okay. And I just find it sad, actually. I find it sad that people have that sort of mentality that if they don't like what you say, they have to say, "Oh, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to do this." I've had people say, "They're going to shoot me." Seriously, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a bloody YouTube channel where adults talk, and it's about football.
They're probably going to shoot you with a Nerf gun, Jez. And big blocky yellow things, and start shooting with them little foam darts. It's the only thing legally that they can obtain.
My thing is, Jez, is that with social media is I try to live by the rule that there's nothing I'd put on social media or say to someone that I wouldn't say to their face.
Yes.
Right. Now there's different rooms for that, right? Like the shit I chat in here on our Arsenal stuff, or I, do little videos on Instagram. That's all just for fun, right? Like I wouldn't go doing that out in public around people I wouldn't know, but I also wouldn't threaten people I don't know. I wouldn't try to make a mockery of people I don't know. Yeah, I laugh and giggle about certain people off and on, celebrities or whatever. But those types of people have already put themselves in the limelight before social media was even invented, right? We've been laughing at, celebrities and footballers, of course, related to football for decades, if not, almost a century, right? So social media is just another avenue for people to obviously connect and join, subculture groups like we have here with Arsenal. But the thing is that it's like you said before, Jez, it's just being respectful. There's just a limit. There's just a limit of respect that people just aren't willing to meet anymore. It's so easy to disagree and bring attention to yourself than it is to just agree and just be part of the normal flow of conversation. You can still disagree and not be nasty. Like you said, it's the person, and every person behind the keyboard is still a human being, even though they don't act like it most of the time. But again, it just goes back to just the one rule. Don't say something online that you wouldn't say to someone's face.
Quite right. Quite
That's
right.
just my take on it.
Now, I just want to come to you on this one. We've been talking about the transfer window, like you were on your show.
Sure.
Nottingham Forest have gone absolutely volcano.
Yep.
You know, Man
Yeah.
United have done some stuff, and we've talked about that. As an Arsenal fan, I mean, what do you rate our transfer? We haven't bought the striker again. 3 windows in, we haven't bought that striker.
Right.
I can't. We're not going to buy anybody else today. I can't see it. It's not going to happen. And here we go in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and we've got Jesus, quality player, but he's not 20 goals a season player. Eddie Nketiah, okay player, but he's not 20 goals a season.
Right.
At the moment, as I said to the Yeti at the start of the show, Martinelli seems to me a little bit off form. Saka seems a little bit off form. And there was a great comment that Yeti's made. If this Saudi team come in, right, and offer Liverpool tonight, 200 million, yeah, I can see him going. And then, as the Yeti said, Liverpool, because Klopp really rates Saka, could trigger his buyout clause. And then we're in deep shit, man. What do you think? What's your view?
I haven't heard any of that news. I know you guys are 8 hours ahead of us before the news travels to here, Jez. So let me get this straight. They're going to sell Salah to Saudi Arabia and then use that money to buy Saka from us.
Could do.
Within the next 8 hours or so. Oh, that's scary. But going back to the transfer window, I give it a 4 out of 10. I thought it was really lackluster, especially that we haven't signed an outfield player since July 15th.
Yeah.
You know, Reyes, and Reyes on loan, so he's not even a real actual signing, right? But he is. But, I am worried, Jez. I don't think that we've met the requirements that we wanted last January still.
No. Yeah.
Right? Last January, we wanted, 3 or 4 signings, and we got Jorginho. I think we're not using Havertz correctly because he really is supposed to come on in the 70th minute for Odegaard as a number 10 or whatever Odegaard is, number 8. I think that we've missed out on a couple of players. We've missed out on Diaby. I think we've missed out on maybe getting someone in like Polina, even though we got Rice in. We could have made maybe a play for him. And I'm worried about Rice's, maybe if Rice gets injured, we're really going to be in a real bad position. And I just don't think there wasn't any a real big picture thought of what goes on. And I think that's true with Arteta and Edu. They look at the now and they don't look at the big picture, right?
Yeah.
So we still need players from January, right? Playing Havertz, who really, like I said, should have came in for Odegaard or should have came in for Rice, maybe in the 80th minute to do something, but we don't know what he's going to do. So we don't even know why the hell he's here.
Yeah.
We bought a player that was completely off our radar. We had no intention of signing there was no sign that we were going to sign Havertz anytime last season. That name wasn't even brought up. And I'm worried now that we've missed an opportunity to fill those gaps that we needed to fill in January with players that are inadequate. And Timber, I'm sorry, 7 months injured doesn't make for a good window, man. I got to give it 4 out of 10. I'm very disappointed.
I think it's an absolute shit show. Yeah. And it just proves Vinay and Edu are absolute complete crap. I looked at the pair of them yesterday at the Champions League draw, and I thought, you smug fuckers, you sat there, right, and you haven't got a clue what's going on, and you're sitting there like, look at us, we're here in Monaco, great, having a great time, fantastic, Brilliant. Love it. But you haven't yet again done the business that we need to do.
Right.
And we've spent big money. It's not like we've gone cheap. I just wonder what the Cronkies actually think. I just don't understand what the board is doing. The board has got to, sanction that money, really. And we bought Jurien Timber, probably one of the best signings we bought, along with Declan Rice. And he's out, he's gone. We won't see him again till the start of next season because that ACL, even if he comes back after 7 months, he's then got to get fit. And, and it's a nasty injury. And the thing is, guys, we have seen players have ACL injuries and they never come back the same again.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're probably mentally, right, thinking, shit, I don't want to do that again, right? So they're going to pull out of a tackle or not go into the tackle quite as much as they would. And if that operation doesn't go 100%, then that knee is not going to be as flexible as it once was. So that is always a problem, right? And that, I think, is a massive, massive concern. But we'll talk about that another day. Let's get. Go on.
Well, sorry, that's just gonna say it's 4 out of 10. I'm really upset that we haven't signed another player in over a month. That's that's really alarming to me. How we can announce Timber on July 14th, announce Rice on July 15th, and we bring in David Raya on loan. It makes no sense, Jez. I don't know why we didn't go get another 2 or 3 players. We need a winger. We obviously need a striker. And now we need another central mid and possibly another right back, right, with Timber out. It's like we didn't even sign Timber, essentially.
Yeah,
it's just
crazy, man.
It's hopeless right now.
Yeah, but
going a month without a signing, I think, is a huge mistake.
Say what you're going to say, man.
The thing is, you've actually, I know it's Oldham and I know it's Tavares and all that kind of stuff, but if you're going to get rid of them, you've got to replace them because you've actually not got as much strength as what you had last season, even though they're not even strength, but they are players that you might need if you do get any serious injuries or anything. So I don't know what you're doing. You're like a circus run by clowns. And it's like what Fuzz says. I agree with him totally. The fact of the matter is, the problem where I think the problem is it is businessmen, and basically they've got business accountants and all this, that, and the other, and they make business decisions. They don't make footballing ones.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Just want to, if I can find it, this comment. Rights Wildlife, top man. Go and subscribe to this guy and his son. They're brilliant. They're fantastic. They're really good fun. Hi, Jez. I have to have a certain amount of subscribers go on the stream? Not at all, mate. You don't have to have one. If you want to come on, have a chat, you're more than welcome. As I say, if you're on Instagram, contact me at collins.jez and we'll have a chat, and you're more than welcome anytime, fella. Also, facts, looks like no one else coming in the window. 1 out of 10, we look worse. He's just summed it up. We're letting these players go, which we need to let them go, but we haven't replaced them with anyone. So we know we're going to get injuries. We know this because how many Arsenal players do we see go down with muscular injuries in the season? It happens every bloody year. But let's move on. Arsenal, Man United, Hot Fuzz, Sunday.
Yeah.
4:30. Give me reviews of it. Give me a review.
Well, based off of what we've seen thus far from a United standpoint, not a lot of confidence going into that game because it's sort of one hand it's Arsenal, usually tough opponent, usually they go up another gear against Man United. On the other hand, it's an away game. United under Ten Hag have not done very well away from home against any teams. So I'd say the odds are stacked more against us than they are so for Arsenal.
It's only the Emirates.
Listen, I could only. It used to be it was only Tottenham Hotspur, but no, Christ, I mean we can't even say that about anyone at the moment. But yeah, it's like the odds aren't in our favour going into this game. Like Mason Mount's out of the team at the moment, and against Forest we looked like we got a bit of control under possession, and we looked like we were dictating the pace of the game a little bit better. But the thing is that if you have a midfield that's so easily bypassed, even with a team that's not got two good holding midfielders or anybody it's like the McFred partnership, where that partnership was worse than every other partnership in the league, even the worst players. It's like we don't have two players doing one player's job. We've got one player doing one player's job, but there needs to be cover. There needs to be someone to stop the potential overrunning in that key area of the pitch, because even Kai Havertz with a lot of space could still find a little bit of joy. But if everybody's like covering it, you've got a strong spine, a strong sort of brick wall in front of you every time you try to attack or break down United. It's tough. It's very, very tough. And I think the way Arsenal have started, not playing this quick tempo, direct, one-touch passing, playing teams off the park, left, right, and centre, I think that's probably one of the biggest saving graces for United's case going into this game. That we're not coming up against the Arsenal of last season. We're coming up against an Arsenal that doesn't quite understand what it wants to do yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we might see 69 different formations against Man United. I mean, apparently there was, 40 or 40 something different formations against Fulham, according to Arteta. And it's like
Arteta only has one.
If man's saying that you've got 40 different formations in a game, tells me that he's got the biggest identity crisis as a manager that the world has ever seen.
Oh my days!
It's like, so I think that there's an element to this where Arteta could come into this game and completely overcomplicate things. Something like, I think Manchester United, you want to beat United, keep things simple, just target the weak spots, and the rest of it should fall more into place for you. We don't score many goals, so you don't have to rely on some impeccable defence. So it's just control the midfield, have a somewhat of a clinical attack, and you're fine.
I just think Arteta is trying to be just too clever. He got close last season. We ended up second. He's now sitting there doing absolute rubbish things, which he never attempted during pre-season. Where that's the time. And dare I say it? Who's the only team pre-season? Man United. There you go. How was that? Yeti, give me your opinion, man. I mean, it's a bit of a shit show, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion is this. I mean, I've been thinking that he's doing this just because it was like lower-ended teams that he was playing at the start. So Sunday will make my mind up on that. If he actually goes with the same as what he's gone with, it's not going to be a nice day for you guys at all, I'm afraid. Man United ain't all that at the minute, but like I say, just make sure you don't touch them in the penalty box, because if you do, then there'll be VAR will come out and they'll get VAR'd everywhere. So
red card.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, it just depends what he does. I don't understand what he's doing, and I don't care what anyone says. That thing about I'm not good enough to manage this team was all PR crap. It was all PR crap to make people feel sorry for him, because you don't come out and do what he's doing now. If you don't think you was up for it and you was 93% at top of the league, and then you come out and decide to do something different, you are what I would class as a TWAT, a twat.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
I call him a fucking prick. You know, fair play. Dow,
Yes, sir.
4:30. What time was that going to be in the US of A?
About 7:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! Wow.
Mm.
Hey, I've gotten up earlier for these shit shows, so
I know.
Yeah, the 12:30
football
kickoffs.
in the morning. I don't know, Jed.
12:30
I predicted 1-1 on my American Idiot show just earlier today. I just don't see either team really breaking through. But my concern is a little bit of a strong midfield of Casermo, Amrabat, and McTominay, because I feel like they can just push us right off the ball. You know? And I'm worried about the physicality of United against us in the midfield. Kai Havertz is a puss. Odegaard is a freaking feather out there. With our back to their goal, and they have McChicken sandwich in there, and Amrabat and Casermo, they're just going to knock us right off the ball. And it's not, they're just going to play their United tactics. They're going to use strength and pace and get up the pitch. And then Rashford's probably going to bury one. I mean, the script's been written so many times, I don't think Højlund, if he comes in, if Gabriel and Saliba are in the right positions, I don't think Højlund's going to get much, because he's going to be, pretty new, and I don't know. Gabriel, I think Saliba would be able to probably put him in their pocket pretty well in his first game for United, if he even gets on the squad. But I'm really worried about the strength of their midfield, not the passing, not the movement, not the finesse or any of that crap, but just the raw strength that he's going to implement on our team. And we know when we go up against strong physical opposition, we come out with a draw or a loss. Rarely do we come out with a win, even though last season is an anomaly. But
Martinez is coming.
I just don't see either team being better than the other. Sorry, Fuzz. What was that?
Martinez is coming for Saka's other leg.
Yeah, there you go. Both teams are kind of are really kind of finding their feet right now, and I just don't see one really dominating the other. But I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about Højlund too much. He'll be on his back anyway by about 32 minutes.
He'll be subbed on in the ambulance.
He'll be crawling in the penalty box.
Lineup, right? Jazz, if he gets the lineup right, I have more confidence. If I see Party right back, there goes my confidence, right?
Yeah.
Play Zinchenko, play what works. Make it simple. Simple.
I'll tell you my starting lineup, right? I'm going Ben White, right back, Saliba, Gabriel, Kiwa, whatever you want to call him, right? I'm then going to go Rice, Odegaard, Partey, Trossard, and then Martinelli, stroke, Jesus, Saka. That, I think, is going to cause Man United a lot of trouble. I know Trossard didn't have a great game against Fulham. He didn't. He was better. He was a damn
place, that's why.
Than that liar Havertz at the end of the day. So it's going to be an interesting one. And yeah, I mean, I just think we're going to be in trouble this season. I just think with what we haven't done in the transfer window, we had to do more. We've let Holding go. I haven't got a problem with that. 4 million quid. We protected his value.
Right.
Wow. Really?
Right. $4 million, Jazz. We protected $4 million for 7 fucking years. Sorry for my French. But
good business, guys. Good business.
I would have flown across the Atlantic and driven him to Selhurst Park myself. Find me a rental car, Jez. I'll go grab it.
The thing is, it fascinates me. Chelsea today has sold a player for 31.5 million that nobody's ever heard of. Really? I mean, that just says something to me about the negotiating skills of the Arsenal management. I don't actually know who does the negotiating, but whoever he is, mate, you need to get down a sewer because you're bloody crap at what you do. Seriously. But we fight.
Yeah, McDonald's apron.
Go on, mate. Go on.
He needs to get a McDonald's apron.
Yeah.
Start flipping burgers.
A little net, a little hair net.
That might be a bit too good for him, to be honest.
There you go.
Fair. Seriously. Yeti, give me your match prediction for the Arsenal Man U, and give me your match prediction for Nottingham Forest.
Match prediction for Arsenal Man U would be, I think it, like I say, it depends if he actually does the right thing, which I think we all know he ain't going to do. If he had the midfielder Partey and Rice, then I think you could look after the Amrabats and the Casemiros and all that kind of stuff. But he's probably not going to do that, so there's no point really saying it. I'm going to go Man United 2-1.
2-1 to Man United.
Forest against Stamford Bridge. Against Chelsea. I'm going to go 1-1.
I've got 1-1. That one. Hot Fuzz, Arsenal Man United, 4:30 Sunday afternoon.
I said previously a 2-1 to Arsenal. I think it's in someone's chat. I can't remember which show it was, but I reckon it's one of those where we'll have quite a few big chances where it's just like we should be scoring those. But again, it's Man United, and for some reason we're allergic to actually taking our big chances. I just feel like we'll have a few of those. We'll probably get a Marcus Rashford. Potentially a penalty, yeah. I dream of that day. But I think Marcus Rashford will find the score sheet definitely at some point in that game. But I just think that Arsenal probably create one too many chances or good chances, to keep the score sheet, to keep a clean sheet as such. And I think it's probably going to be something like a Bukayo Saka. Bend it far post sort of finish, just outside the box or just inside the box, wherever it is. Because judging by our fullback situation on the left-hand side, we're not going to have a fullback that likes to show the winger onto his inside. So probably not going to bode too well in that department. And as for the other goal for Arsenal, to be honest, I probably would say maybe Martin Odegaard inside the box.
Saka might be at Liverpool by tomorrow.
That's true. But yeah, I think it's I'd say a sport. Where I want to say that the share of spoils for favour Arsenal, I think it's a share of spoiled afternoon for every football fan watching this game will be in Arsenal's favour, I think.
Yeah. Okay, Dow.
I'm going 1-1, Jez. Physical game. I just think that they're going to employ the same tactics they did in preseason when they beat us. And again, it depends on Arteta getting the lineup right. Even if he does get the lineup right with the 4-2-3 or the 4-3-3 that you suggested, Jez, I still think that's a tough battle in midfield and 1-1.
Yeah, I agree.
To be fair, that the preseason game, I think Arteta didn't play that silly formation. I think he played a flat back four. Gabriel and Saliba were playing in that back line, and it was actually it was much closer to what perhaps the Arsenal fan base were probably expecting to see as far as the lineup is concerned. But now he's potentially going to change it. I mean, maybe Ten Hag's probably second guessing, thinking, well, what is Mikel going to do? If he does what preseason does, at least I've got something to go off of here. But if he does this crazy, strange concoction of different formations and players trying out in different positions, it's a bit of a head scratcher, isn't it?
Well, that's where we're at too. It's like Arteta and Ten Hag were born just from different mothers with the same brain, practically. I don't see how we're going to penetrate offensively because we've seen Saka with the ball outside the 18-yard box, does nothing but passes it laterally or backwards. Martinelli driving on the left side, head down, barely gets in the box. And we don't know if Trossard's going to be missing. Is he going to play? Is he going to be on the bus? Is he back in Belgium? Who knows? Arteta doesn't know. Arteta doesn't know how to use them.
No, he doesn't.
And I
agree.
I just feel like it's got 1-1 or maybe even 0-0 written all over it, man. I think it's going to be a draw game. I'm looking more forward to the Chelsea Forest game than this one because Forest will bring a fight. And I think I predicted Forest maybe to pull it out. TJ would have to remind me, because Forest have fight. I think if we go down 1-0 to Rashford, it's game over. And maybe we nick one at the end. Hopefully, #hope strategy, shout out again, Southern Gooner. Hopefully we get one. But from what we've seen in the last 3 weeks, it looks pretty shitty. And my hopes are not up for it.
Yeah. It's all going to be down, isn't it? Let's get it right. It's going to be all down to the lineup. If we go with this nonsensical Partey right back and this inverted bullshit, I don't even want to see Zinchenko start because when he goes into the midfield, he doesn't track back. How many games last season it cost us when he went into the midfield, his natural position, and we were exposed on the left, on that flank, left flank, and that cost us games, especially against Man City. So, I'm going to go. We know it's going to be a war. Arsenal, Man United, Arsenal. It's always a war. It has been for decades, ever since I've been watching Arsenal as a little kid. I'm going to go, Desmond, I'm going 2-2.
Yeah.
I see there's going to be goals. We're both fragile. I think it's going to be a tasty game. I reckon there'll either be a red card in that. There'll certainly be a lot of yellow cards. We always know there always is.
Right.
Maybe we'll get another Pizzagate. Who knows? That'd be fun.
I think Amrabat will be well up for it as well because he's been wanting this move for Man United for ages. And the best thing you guys can hope for is that he goes straight through Havertz and puts him out for the rest of the season.
Well, that's the thing too. Like you said with Zinchenko on the left, Jazz, I agree with that. I mean, you said QBR, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but I see where you're going with this. If Zinchenko's inverted and Havertz is on the left, Antony will have a fucking field day.
He will, yeah.
And he's not a very good winger yet. He dances. He does more sambas than he does putting goals in. But the fact of the matter is he will have the whole right side to his advantage. And I don't care. He will annihilate Gabriel with the little tiki-taka. And with Havertz and Zinchenko on the left, that's the worst mistake Arteta can make. I agree with that, Jez.
I'll tell you what. Anthony, watch out, he's on the come up. He's starting to use his right foot a little bit now.
Oh, just a little bit.
I saw little glimpses of it. He almost got an assist with his right foot, taking it to the byline against Forest. Yeah,
he's learned how to tie his shoelaces as well, hasn't he?
If he's got space fuzz, he can cause damage. He needs space to run into. And with Zinchenko up front and the ball on the counter and Havertz up there with his thumb up his ass, not knowing where he's at, Antony has all day on the right, on our left side. All day, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to cross the ball into Rashford. It'll be 1-0 before we know it.
Yeah, I can see it. I would be honest. I'm looking. I love the big matches. I love the Arsenal, Man United. I love the Arsenal, Tottenham's, Man City games. I get a real buzz out of them. But I've got concerns. But we're going to wrap it up, guys. Yeti, shout out where we can find you, my friend.
Right, okay. So thanks for having me on, as always. It's always a pleasure, and it's always a hell of a lot of fun. Right, so basically my channel is Long-Eared Yeti's Cave, gaming, just talking general crap really, and anything gets covered. I'm not really like bothered about getting banned or anything like that. If it happens, it happens. Whatever. I'll always be myself, and that's what will be on my gravestone. Kept it real and was always, straight as a sword in your gut. So yeah, Long-Eared Yeti's Cave. Go and drop me a subscription and a subscribe. I mean, and a like, or no, not a like. Yeah, me. Yeah, Long-Eared Yeti's Cave. I'll leave it.
Leave something. A glass of beer or a turd, it doesn't matter.
That was all. That I auditioned that bit as well. Terrible.
Yeah, top man, top fella. Yeti, love having you on, mate, because one thing, you're always neutral and you speak the facts, man. And I said earlier, we've got a community where we meet new people and it's class. Hot Fuzz 44, where can we find you? Shout out your YouTube and all your socials, please.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you very much for having me on. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I was late. Yeah, dinner and all of that. It was a Chinese takeaway, so to be fair, that's if you missed anything and for dinner and it's Chinese, it's all worth it. But yeah, always a privilege to be invited on the show, Jess. Really, really appreciate it. It's always a privilege. You can find me on my YouTube at HotFuzz44. It's got quite a distinct logo with the name in it. EST 1998, which weirdly enough, it guessed what birth year I was in. I was born in. But also, you can find me on Instagram as well. The link to that Instagram page is on my channel page as well at HotFuzz44OG. It also has the same logo as my YouTube channel, so it should be easy to find me if you do search me up on the gram. But big ups to everyone. Thank you.
No, it's always a pleasure to have you on, my friend. And I'll be generous and say good luck Sunday. Not that I really mean. I'm just being nice to it.
I wish you all the luck where you don't need it.
Yeah. Down. My man. Shout yourself out, man. Shout out your YouTube channel. Shout out the American Idiots as well, please.
All right. American Idiots show every Friday, 9 p.m. UK. Thanks for having me on, Jess. Sorry I got in a little late. I wanted to come in and say hi to you and Yeti and Mr. Fuzz. Always a great conversation. Big weekend of games coming up. Big up the chat, everyone. Thank you so much. Without you guys, we don't have this. No. Right? So thank you all very much. You can find me at Oregon Goon on YouTube, and I turned on my Twitter X social media shit show again as Oregon Goon HD. I'm going to post more Arsenal stuff on there. I was really deep into digital art and NFTs for a while, and I still kind of am, but I'm going to put more Arsenal stuff. Fuzz, love to get you on the American Idiots show. We'll have to make that happen. Yeah. And there's 2 or 3 other people in the chat I wanted to talk to TJ about getting on the show as well. But big up Jez, and I hope we fucking annihilate you guys 5-0 on Sunday, Fuzz.
Mate, I'll cut my stream short if that happens, because I'll go try to watch something.
That would be amazing.
You've been smoking that stuff already, Del.
Daddy,
you know I have.
I can't see that happening, honestly.
That's just like a cup of coffee, mate. Just like your tea.
Yeah. It'd be nice, but I can't see it myself. I'm just going to shout out Matt, the Southern Gooner, I think he's going live at 10 o'clock p.m. UK time to do the last hour of the transfer window. So everybody go and watch him, give him some support. Please, everybody, support these guys and support me, of course. And thank you to the chat. Always real ones that come in here.
Yeah.
No idiots tonight. We had no idiots, which is always nice. But
well, you got Hot Fuzz on the panel.
We got Wolf.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see how it is. I'm sorry myself out. Don't worry about it.
I'll need some crumpets. That sounds good for my lunchtime.
Yeah, as United have already beaten Arsenal in pre-season. Yeah, we mentioned that. About it. So we're going to wrap it up, people. I'm going to do the outro. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Smash the like, smash the subs, and it does help the channel. Share it on wherever you want to share it.
Abbott's out.
Down to the United scum.
Take care.